Hello everyone, hope you're doing so well, having an amazing week and happy 2025. Welcome to this little review of the Himi Gouache 36 twin cup set. I hope I got that right. In this video I'm going to be doing a time-lapse painting where I just sort of test out the paints and also their brushes. And also I wanted to show you quickly some of the oil paintings I've been working on. As soon as I've got all these paintings finished, I'm going to be doing a video showing all the paintings I've been working on, and I can't wait to chat about them and show you what I've been doing. Oh my goodness. So I do hope you enjoyed this video. Incidentally, if I look really weird, I was eating cherries and it's actually stained all the way around my face. I actually looked like a zombie. So I was like desperately scrubbing to get it off, but I think it's still around my face here somewhere. Anyway, enough of that nonsense. I will see you very soon and enjoy the video. So here we go everyone, this is the magical Himi Gouache set. It comes with these brushes and they are so cute. The handles are so pretty, the colour is like this amazing light turquoise. I should probably tried to open this before, but I'm going to do so on camera. And these are the brushes I usually use, which are the Daler-Rowney Graduate, but I'm going to try these Himi Gouache ones. Now I have to say at first I was thinking maybe I wouldn't, because I thought maybe they'd be those terrible brushes you sometimes get free in sets. However, I did feel them and actually they feel really good. They've got like a spring to them and they are synthetic, but they have a density in the middle which is perfect for gouache. Like, you don't want them to be too soft, and also you don't want them to be too dense and too bristly as well. So they were actually perfect. So I'm going to use them for this test. And as you can see, it is really hard to get the lid off here, which in a way I appreciate though, because at least you know that the paint is like securely inside. You do get this little card which shows all the 36 colours, and these obviously are 12 grams in each cup. And what I really like about the actual card itself is it actually has all the names of the colours on it. I was looking for cadmiums, there aren't any cadmium yellow, cadmium red, but there is a Naples yellow and there is a cobalt blue in there, which I really appreciate. So they have got some really nice pigments in there, just not obviously the cadmiums, but that may be good or bad depending on whether you like cadmiums. This lid was so hard to get off. In fact, they all were pretty difficult. So I decided to put gloves on and do it off camera because it was just so messy and I made such a mess. And I have to say the first one that I opened was really easy to open, and so I thought, oh, why is everyone in YouTube complaining? Because it's actually so easy. But then I tried the next few and I was like, uh-oh, I don't know what, it's so bad, it's so hard. And I did almost injure my finger doing it, but as long as you take your time opening the lid, it's totally fine. So here you can see, as expected, the cups are absolutely beautiful. They're so vibrant. The colours are just incredible. It's so inspiring actually, because at first I didn't know what I was going to paint, and I thought for ages beforehand, and I thought, should I paint a cat? Should I paint like something more anime style? Should I do a landscape? And then as soon as I saw the colours, I just immediately got inspired for a landscape, because the colours are just so beautifully selected and intelligently selected to the type of colours that artists are actually drawn to. I think it's such a cleverly designed and made colour selection and palette as well. Here I'm doing a wash, and it looks like I'm putting a lot of work into it, but actually this is only because the brush itself is quite small. So I was just trying to make sure I'd get the wash quite thin. But it was actually really easy to spread. The paint is so smooth. I didn't have any problems at all. And actually, I must confess, I was surprised, because sometimes when I've tried gouache in the past from other brands, I have found that the actual colours are so thick that I've had problems spreading the paint. But as I say, this paint is so smooth to use. It just glided across the paper. I had no issues, and it was so fun. And even to do this wash stage, which I usually find quite boring, the early stages of painting is not really that exciting. You have to like lay down the colour. It's only when you get to the next stage, like the second, third layers, fourth layers, that it becomes more interesting, when the colours start to come together and you start to see your painting form something that resembles actually something. One thing really interesting that I discovered about Himi Gouache, and maybe everyone knows about this already, and I'm like the last person to know about this, but it's something that I wasn't aware of, and that is that it is a Chinese brand, and I always thought it was Japanese. And I think that it's so brilliant that it is Chinese because I'm finally seeing now brands from China making it over here. And actually, it's a shame that we don't get more Chinese brands because I feel like it's often takes a while for us to discover what's happening over there, and they've always got so many innovative designs and things going on. So I'm so glad that we're having this amazing brand and that it's gaining so, I mean, it's so popular already, but it's gaining even more popularity because of social media, and I think that that in itself is incredible. I think it is such an innovative palette. And just skipping to the painting here, this olive green, I discovered that it was olive green, is such a beautiful colour. And it's next to the grass green, and they blend so nicely together. And I have to say, it's probably the best olive green and mixed green, so this grass green, that's what it's called, one of the best I've ever tried. Because usually when you buy palettes and they have pre-mixed greens in them, personally I tend to skip them because I prefer to mix my own greens, and I don't really see the purpose of having sort of pre-mixed greens in palettes. But this had such a rich colour, this Himi Gouache one, that I was just amazed by it. I really, really love it, and I can't wait to use it again in future paintings. In fact, I'm just so excited to use this palette. Like, I feel it just was even better than I expected, and I knew it was going to be good. I knew it was just going to be like the type of thing that I would love because of the colour selection and just the way I've seen other artists use it on YouTube. I just thought it's definitely going to be something that I am going to enjoy. By the way, I'm just going to mention the price of this, which I think is unbelievable. So it was £23 on Amazon, and I believe I got it for 17 because there was a special offer. And I've been kind of like watching these palettes for a while. Like, there are so many different types of the Himi Gouache. So you can get the really big cups, and then you can get these twin cups, which are, I think, the more recent launch of theirs. And I personally really like this because I think you get such an enormous colour selection that you can apply it to lots of different paintings. So you can do all kinds of street scenes and not just magical scenes. You can do proper urban type landscapes as well. I mean, because there's quite a few muted colours in this particular palette as well as bright colours. So once again, I think they've really thought it through so well. And I feel like what's interesting is that this really reminded me of a sort of watercolour gouache hybrid, like when I was mixing it with water. I didn't feel like it was as super opaque as, for example, I have the Winsor & Newton gouache, and that one is so opaque that you can't really thin it out that much. Like, when you do, it doesn't really change. It still remains very opaque. Whereas this gouache, I feel like it just had that transparency that looks really nice when you put it in blends, and it had that watercolour effect when you thinned it out with water. But of course, it's not quite as thin as watercolours, if that makes sense. But if you apply it directly from the cups and you don't add much water, or you don't add any water, it is proper gouache. Like, it resembles that full-on opaque gouache. So it's so versatile. Like, you can do it either way, if that makes sense. So in this painting, I did use, especially for the sky, I used it more in a sort of watercolour way by adding quite a lot of water. And I was super impressed by the titanium white as well, because it came out so bright. I don't know if you can see on the right, it's just underneath the palette, but I'll move it at the end so you can see. But it actually, it was really good because with the mixing white, that's probably a zinc white. It really had it's listed as white on the colour chart they give you, but I imagine it's either titanium mixed with zinc or just zinc, because zinc is more transparent. And so that also mixed really well with the other colours, so I didn't have any issues. Also, I didn't have any issues with lifting. And once again, with other gouache that I've used in the past, if you try to layer on top of like the previous layer, and if the previous layer isn't completely dry, you can get lifting where the paint lifts off, and that's absolutely maddening, and that's something that I hate. And actually it put me off using gouache for a while because I didn't like that aspect to it, and for quite some time I'd preferred using acrylic to gouache. But now I'm like totally into gouache, and I really want to pull out my Winsor & Newton one again and start doing some paintings with that too, to sort of see the differences and see which, colours I prefer in which paint set and whatever. So yeah, and I'm really enjoying it, and I can't rave about it enough. I would give it a 10 out of 10. I can't think of anything negative, because I think for the price that you get and everything you get, the brushes were incredible. The brushes did stain, but so on the third brush, I think that's, sorry, the middle brush that I used, it's actually already stained blue, but that doesn't really bother me. My oil paint brushes look so bad at the moment. I quite like that whole effect. Of course, if you soak them in water, I imagine that the brush will go back to normal and it'll be fine. And also, of course, the whole thing about if your paint dries out, you can easily reactivate it just by adding water into the cups and then stirring it. So I've seen lots of videos about that as well, because I got scared that mine would dry out. But yeah, so as I say, I really enjoyed this experience. Let me know what you think about this set. And do you have any older sets? What have been your thoughts about using it? This painting will be in my Etsy store. And also thank you to absolutely everyone who's purchased paintings from me this week. And I really had a problem getting this masking tape off. It was really tough, and I don't know what I was doing. Basically, I think I'd lost the plot because I was so amazed by how this had come out, because honestly I felt like it was going to be a fail because it was the first time I was using it. But I really did enjoy it so much, and I do hope you like this painting. If you think it's good, if you think it's terrible, let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all soon. Take care, guys.